Hello. Uh, Welcome along, adventurers. This is episode 106 of Adventures in Pop. My name's Simon Jacobs. You are looking lovely, and guess what? It's almost Easter. So, just a quick episode. This week, I want to introduce you once again to a brand new song that might be on an album at some point in the future, but so far into the future that I might as well play it to you now, seeing as I only wrote it in the last few weeks. Okay, so this song is called Gravity. Well, it is at the moment. These things can all change. And the reason I want to introduce this to you, because I think it is indicative of some of the kind of things I'm doing, some of the techniques I'm employing at the moment to, create a certain sound. So it's quite useful just to talk to you about this song, Gravity. Okay, a little bit of a tiny story for this one. I was clearing up in this very studio where I'm sitting talking to you now a few weeks ago. And at the same time, I was thinking, I'm in the mood to write something. I'm not really quite sure what I'm going to write. And as I was clearing up, I literally came across a scribbly bit of paper. I can't remember doing this, but it's my handwriting, and it isn't that long ago. It's in this room. I've only been here a couple of years in here. Anyway, little scribbly bit of handwriting, and it was basically a couple of verses and a chorus. I could recognise that. I had no recollection of writing any part of it at all, so that's a worry, isn't it? But it definitely was, a song. I could recognise that. The bits of it that rhymed, it didn't seem too bad, and I stared at it for a while thinking, where did this come from? And then I thought, maybe it's a message from forces out there to get on and write the next song. So basically I used it lock, stock and barrel. I mean, every word of it, I just kept it and decided there's no point trying to change anything, just go with it and see how it fits a different new rhythm, etc. So it's formed part of a kind of a sound that I seem to be going for more and more often. I think I've talked to you before about going for this kind of epic sound, and that's one aspect of it. But what I've been doing recently more and more is when it comes to a big chorus, or even sometimes all the way through the song, begin to end, is to multi-track it, to record a few different takes of me doing a lead voice. So this is not about harmonies. This is about maybe several different versions of a lead voice singing in unison, and it's quite an art to be able to listen to the take you've done 5 minutes earlier, and while you're hearing it, is to reproduce it as precisely and exactly as you can, because there's nothing worse than double, triple tracking a lead vocal, and it's constantly just not really in time with itself. So yes, of course, there are things I can do. I can cut bits and maneuver them into place and all the rest of it. But it's much easier, actually, and much more successful, I think, in terms of the sound of it, is to sing, three different times, three different takes, and try and make sure it is, as far as you can, do exactly the same. So that's quite an interesting art. And the effect of that then is that you can do things like put one main voice down the middle and then two slightly more affected, maybe more reverby voices to either side, sort of behind it, and you've still got a good solid vocal take that doesn't sound too reverby, too all over the place, but it has this effect in the background, and that's quite nice. So I quite like doing that, particularly on these sorts of songs. So let me just play you an example of me triple tracking a line from the song, and what that kind of does, what it sounds like on its own.
Some days you're running as fast as you can until you run into a brick wall. Some days it takes all of your strength, but you're not moving at all. Some days are better than other days, But then again, some days are worse than the rest. Some days it takes all of your strength. And God knows you're doing your best.
Okay, so I am doing this more and more. I think there are a number of songs that I've written that might end up being on whatever it is, album 7 or something ridiculous, don't hold me to it, that have got this kind of, big effect. So it does go back to the point we've talked about before about trying to create an epic sound, but this is just a slightly different way of doing it. And in fact, you can create this epic, larger than life sound, and be singing all in unison, and that's quite interesting as well. So it's not always about finding harmonies, although I like doing that too, as you will probably know. Obviously I made just a little lyrics video for this song, Gravity. As I say, I only wrote it a few weeks ago. I think it's, I like it, but at this stage, I'm just writing songs, collecting them in a kind of a list. I haven't really got to that point yet. I don't need to, not for ages, where I'm thinking, which one's better than which one, which one is in, which one isn't in. I'm going through that very painful process of trying to be, judge and jury of my own songs, and we know that doesn't always work terribly well. Okay, now what else is going on at the moment? A couple of things. One is YouTube and not allowing me to monetize anything in April because I violated something, but it's very hard to work out what it is I violated. And so I might let you know what on earth that's all about. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. And next week, I'm going to find out a little bit more about how I'm getting on with my very first go at Spotify's discovery mode, which I've been, as you know, lucky enough to have some songs eligible for. So I think there are 6 songs that are getting an extra, push from Spotify for as long as I'm happy to forsake 30% of the royalties, which, as I said before, is probably 30% of very little. So I don't mind really. Let's see how that gets on. So by this time next week, I should have some information about how that's going. So I'm going to leave you with this song, Gravity, a nice little lyrics video. Hope you like it. It's not going to come out for some time. And by the time it does come out, if it does, it might sound different from this. So this might be an exclusive and one-off, and we don't know yet because we can't read the future. I'm just going to wish you a very good Easter, whatever it is you do at this time of the year. And I'll see you very soon. Here's Gravity. Bye-bye.
Some days are better than other days, but then again, some days are worse than the rest. Some days it takes all of your strength to get out of bed and get dressed. Some days you're waiting for something to happen, and other days you want it to stop. Some days you can't get anything done, and then you work till you drop. Climb up to the rooftops. I'm halfway to the sky. If it wasn't for the gravity, I'd be able to fly. The moon is slowly rising. The rising. The stars again will shine. All that ends will start again.